Rising tensions between China and the US taking center stage as officials gather for the 55th ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting in Phnom Penh. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his American counterpart Antony Blinken will be taking part in dialogue partner meetings. Also topping the agenda is what's being seen as the worsening situation in Myanmar, which has extended its state of emergency for 6 more months. Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen referred to the military government's recent execution of 4 democracy activists as a possible turning point in ASEAN's approach to the Myanmar crisis.
ប្រែប្រួលខ្លាំងដែលអាចនិយាយបានថាកាន់តែអាក្រក់ជាងមុនមានការព្រមព្រៀងឯកច្ឆន្ទ5ចំណុចទៅទៀតក្រោយពីការអនុវត្តទោសប្រហារជីវិតទៅលើសកម្មជនបកប្រឆាំង4រូបកម្ពុជាក៏ដូចជារដ្ឋសមាជិកអាស៊ានទាំងអស់ខកចិត្តនិងរន្ធត់យ៉ាងក្រៃលែងចំពោះការប្រហារជីវិតសកម្មជនបកប្រឆាំងទាំងនោះបើទោះជាខ្ញុំនឹងថ្នាក់ដឹក
Meanwhile, Russia has expressed its support for Myanmar's military government. Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who is expected to join the meeting in Phnom Penh, held talks in Myanmar today with its top generals. He says Moscow agrees that Myanmar's army should, quote, stabilize the crisis-torn country before holding elections next year. And we're joined by our correspondent Leong Wai-kit live for us in Phnom Penh. Wai-kit, are ASEAN foreign ministers any closer to any consensus on how to address the Myanmar crisis?
Well, exactly the question I asked Indonesia's Foreign Affairs Minister Retno Marsudi when I saw her walking out of this venue. Well, I walked with her and I asked her her views on Myanmar. And she said that the ASEAN foreign ministers had a very extensive discussion on Myanmar. And what's notable, she said, is that all ASEAN foreign ministers gathered at the meeting agreed that there must be a paragraph about Myanmar in the joint communique, which is typically issued at the end of the week-long ASEAN ministerial meetings, something which Malaysia Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah had also said earlier. Now, it is not uncommon to have a paragraph dedicated to Myanmar in joint statements, but what would be interesting would be the kind of phrasing and the wordings that we will read at the joint statement. As you've already seen earlier and heard earlier from Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen, ASEAN chair, he said at the opening of the ministerial meeting that if Myanmar continues to execute political prisoners, then ASEAN will have to be forced to rethink the peace plan. So we'll keep a close watch on how that paragraph on Myanmar is worded at the end of the joint statement.
Wai-kit, of course, the headline news today, all through the day, has been Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan and the controversy that sparked that visit. Where you are, you've got foreign ministers from China, the US and Russia attending, so very likely some very delicate diplomacy. How are you seeing tensions affecting talks where you are?
Well, we're keeping a very close watch, basically. In fact, some journalists here were waiting and stalking China Foreign Minister Wang Yi. But when he arrived at this venue for ASEAN ministerial talks, there was a huge media scrum. Questions were being shouted at him. People fell, but Mr. Wang Yi did not respond to any of these questions. Now, several high-level sources tell me that ASEAN foreign ministers are proposing for a statement to be separately issued to discuss specifically the Taiwan Straits. Now, I'm going to be reading to you what some sources tell me. The wordings here include that ASEAN is very concerned that the situation will destabilize the region, leading to miscalculation, serious confrontation, and open conflict. But I must stress that this is a statement that some sources have revealed to me. This is not finalized yet, but the very fact that the ASEAN foreign ministers here want to make this proposal just shows just how important they view this situation.
Thanks for that update. Leong Wai-kit reporting to us there from Phnom Penh.